What's up, everybody? Today is March 26th, 2020. In this video, we're going to talk about the death of Bryce Beekman, who was a safety for the Washington State University football team. While the cause of death has not been confirmed, media headlines are suggesting that this man quite possibly died of coronavirus. He played for Washington State, and remember, the state of Washington is where the first case of coronavirus was detected in the United States. For the past couple of weeks, we've been learning about celebrities and athletes not only being diagnosed with coronavirus, but also dying of the disease. And what's playing out in the media is highly inconsistent with my own personal experience regarding this so-called pandemic. While there certainly does seem to be a bug going around, the media is greatly exaggerating this illness and is literally destroying our economy over it. And in order for this to work, they have to control the minds of the public. And stories like these play a huge role in that. So let's talk about the numerology of this story. We're going to start out with the very basic numerology, just looking at Gematria and date numerology. And then in the second half of this video, we're going to explore what appears to be a deep total solar eclipse riddle. Back in the 90s when I was a kid, there was a show called Beekman's World. And it very, very much appears that this man's death is aligned with the actor who played Beekman, Paul Zaloom. And remember, this code of letters and numbers known as Gematria comes from the Bible. And the most significant story of death in the Bible is in the New Testament, during the crucifixion of Jesus. During the crucifixion, darkness is said to fall over the sky during the daytime. And while an eclipse should have been impossible at that time, the symbolism remains. The death of the sun during an eclipse, the death of the Son of God during the crucifixion. So let's get into the basic numerology here. And most importantly, the fact is that he died at the age of 22. When we get to the eclipse riddle, we'll see that total solar eclipse sums to 202 using the alphabetic order. The language of Gematria, of course, using the alphabetic order, numbering it 1 through 26 to give us a numeric value for any word, name, or phrase. Just think of this man's initials, Bryce Beekman, BB, B being, of course, the second letter. So here we have another 22. Just like the age he was when he died. This man played the position of safety. Using the standard reduction method, also called Pythagorean gematria, where each number is reduced to a single digit prior to adding it to the equation, the word safety sums to 22. The name Bryce Beekman sums to 220 using the reverse alphabetic order, where Z is assigned 1 and A is 26. And of course, here he is passing away in the year 2020. The sport of football, of course, has 22 men on the field at all time. The professional football league in America is called the National Football League, which equals 220 in the alphabetic order. 22 is known as a master number, more specifically the master builder number. And here in the year 2020, we're experiencing an overhaul in society, just like we did in the year 2002 after the 9/11 attacks. 2020 will no doubt go down in history as the year of the coronavirus pandemic, which sums to 220 in the standard alphabetic order. And again, while it's not confirmed what killed this man, the headline clearly suggests that it could have been coronavirus as he was experiencing breathing problems. And up to this point, it's been primarily old people who have experienced severe symptoms from this disease. But now the media is pushing that young people can die too, because if you go outside, you'll see not a whole lot of young people are as scared as the media would want them to be of this disease. And remember, fear is the game here. Fear other people, the fact that they could pose a threat to you, even unknowingly, very psychologically damaging to the public. And make no mistake about it, what we're going through in America right now is by far the largest psychological operation we've seen. The name Bryce sums to 53, 26, 82, and 28. This disease, being called COVID, has the exact same gematria, 53, 26, 82, and 28. And of course, what number did Bryce wear? That's right, he wore number 26. Just like his name, just like COVID. The word virus also summing to 26. The word disease, 26. It's said that Beekman was found dead on March 24th. Well, this year, March 24th was the 84th day of a year, being a leap year. This man went to Washington State University, and 84 is a very significant number to that school. In the reverse reduction method, Washington State equals 84. The school's mascot is the Cougars. In the alphabetic order, Cougars equals 84. If you look up Bryce Beekman's biography, you find that his hometown was Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This sums to 84 in reduction, and with the S exception, the city that he was found dead in, Pullman, Washington, also equals 84. His death also fell 84 days after news broke of the death of another college football player named Bryce. Back at the end of 2019, we learned about the death of Bryce Gowdy, a Georgia Tech recruit, who was mysteriously struck by a train. And of course, his name had the same gematria as hit by a train. This also matched the date numerology. This post is also linked below, down in the description below this video. So 84 days between the news stories of the death of two Bryces. Pretty interesting stuff. And 84, this is a significant number to secret societies here in the United States. Masonry summing to 84 in reverse. Jesuit 84 in ordinal. This is the Society of Jesus, or the Jesuit Order, which also equals 84. So why a student from Washington State University? Well, I want you to look at the date that Washington State University was established. March 28th of 1890. The year 1890 sticks out in this case. Using the reverse Sumerian method, this is the alphabetic order in reverse, multiplied by 6, a significant number of time. Check out how Washington State Cougars sums to 1890 in reverse Sumerian, just like the year that the university was established. This means that later this month, in just 2 days, Washington State University turns exactly 130 years old. Now, the number 130, which represents 13 in numerology, is incredibly significant. Notice how the state Washington sums to 130 in the alphabetic order. This is also the value of human sacrifice. Notice how they also put "we're in shock" in different colors and in quotes in the headline. This always means there's relevant gematria behind the phrase. And check out how "we're in shock" also yields a 130. Washington State even sits on the 117th meridian. If you look up the coordinates of where this school is located, that's the reverse value of 13. And in Standard English Sumerian, Washington State, 1170. So again, Beekman was found dead on the 24th. This date had primary numerology of 67. The name Bryce Beekman sums to 67. Again, he was from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, another 67. 67 is also found in the Gematria of human sacrifice, as well as blood sacrifice. The phrase total solar eclipse, which we saw the 202 value of in ordinal earlier, also sums to 67 in reduction. And what I just realized is that total solar eclipse equals 104 in reverse reduction. In ordinal, Bryce Beekman equals 104. We'll get into the eclipse riddle shortly. Next, we're going to pop open Latin Gematria. This cipher, also called Jewish Gematria, based in the Latin alphabetic order. This is the only cipher I teach that does not use the standard alphabetic order. However, it appears to be by far the most relevant outside of these methods. And I bring this up because Pullman, Washington, where this man was found dead, has this Jewish Gematria value of 1616. And this is a number that sticks out because in English Gematria, which is essentially the same cipher as Jewish, but uses the current 26-letter alphabetic order, 47 sums to 1616. And the date he died also had numerology of 47. The word killing equals 47 with the K exception. But this brings me to the eclipse riddle that I believe is involved here. Now, back when I was a kid, there was a science show on television, much in the spirit of Bill Nye the Science Guy. It was called Beekman's World. And no doubt about it, when I saw this headline this morning, a guy named Beekman, this is the absolute first thing that popped in my head. And it would only stand to reason that somehow this death would be aligned to this series. So it sounds crazy, I understand, but trust me when I say there's something to this. So I pointed out the 47 alignments with the date, the city that this man died in. Well, in the alphabetic order, Beekman equals 47. This is also the reduction value of total eclipse. And trust me, I would not bring this up if I didn't think there was something really important here. But Beekman, on the show, was played by an actor named Paul Zaloom. And check out his birthday this year. December 14th, the date written 12/14, or internationally, 14/12. Well, in Jewish Gematria, the name Paul Finley Zaloom equals 1412, just like his birthday. Later this year, in the year 2020, the only total solar eclipse of the year occurs on the date December 14th. Paul Zaloom was born in the year 1951, meaning that on the date of this year's one and only total solar eclipse, he turns exactly 69 years old. And in the alphabetic order, eclipse equals 69. Total eclipse of the sun, summing to 69 in reduction. So how wild is that? Well, if you measure from the date that Bryce Beekman was found dead to the date of that eclipse, we get a span of exactly 38 weeks. The word death equals 38. Killing equals 38. The word murder, 38. R.I.P. on the tombstone, also 38. There's some more interesting alignments here, too. The 138 especially sticks out. Bryce Beekman spells his name differently. Wow, notice how also this is 51 in ordinal. and Paul Zaloom was born in the year 51. But the 138 in reverse is interesting for Beekman because Paul Zaloom equals 138, and he starred in the show Beekman's World, which equals 138. There do appear to be alignments to the dates that this series found significant, the first and last episodes, which I always measure to in these videos. I find it interesting that he died exactly 7,907 days after the final episode, because in Satanic Gematria, total solar eclipse equals 797. But what actually sticks out more is the original release date of this series. It first aired on September 16th of 1992. Measuring from that date to the death of Bryce Beekman gives us 330 months. But it's also exactly 10,051 days. Now remember, Jesus is believed to have died during something like an eclipse. Most scholars believe he died at the age of 33. Of course, eclipse equals 33. In the alphabetic order, Jesus Christ equals 151. And Beekman's died 10,051 days after the debut of Beekman's World. Also, Washington summing to 985. This is the same as Jesus, 985 in Jewish Gematria. The date of this man's death also with numerology of 13 and 31. And if you're familiar with my work, you know that 1331 is essentially the ultimate eclipse number. This 1331 eclipse, which sums to 1331, never touched a major body of water. It was on the only date on the calendar that sums to 1331 in Gematria, which is November 30th. So whatever it was that truly killed this man, the media is certain that it wants us to believe something about it. And I can't tell you if this guy was murdered, if he really died naturally. I have no idea. But what I do know is that this media is trying to dehumanize us. And remember, this is all about instilling fear in the people. And not just fear of some people, like they've been doing for 20 years now, but the fear of literally everybody. It all started with 9/11 back in 2001, when they asked us to fear brown people. And then over the years, it's amped up. With all these police shootings, we've been taught to fear people of different races. With all these Me Too sexual assault stories, we've been told to fear people who are our own race, who look perfectly normal. And now with COVID-19, we're taught to literally fear every single person. Because every person, we're taught not to look at them as someone who can help enlighten us, someone who can help us in our journey through life, but instead someone who could potentially kill us even unknowingly. And the amount of stress they're putting on the average human psyche during this time is quite awful, and you're seeing complete lunacy play out with people all over the place. I mean, I could go on about it, but I've done a lot of that lately on this channel. And if you want to hear me rant more about this, I have a video where I literally rant for 45 minutes about this coronavirus bullshit. And again, yes, there's a bug going around, but by no means does it seem anywhere near as deadly as they're claiming. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks to everybody who jumped in and contributed to the live chat. The news is not slowing down. Everything's going as fast as ever. So expect me to continue to put more videos out exposing the coronavirus agenda. And hopefully people snap out of this trance. Currently in Wisconsin, we're in a 30-day safer at home order. And make no questions about it, guys. They are going to try to extend these orders anywhere they can. And when they try to do so, start looking around and asking yourself, how many people do I know are really, truly, gravely ill from this alleged pandemic? Because it's going to be time to come out of the houses and start living your lives again. So let's do that. All right, everyone. Peace, love, God bless. We'll talk to you next time. See ya!